Greetings, everybody. Nick DiVirgilio here, and today's video is choosing the best microphone for recording vocals. And the goal of this video is to give you some information so you could pick the right microphone quickly for the particular recording situation you're going to find yourself in. You know, there's so many nuances when recording vocals, whether it's a male vocal or a female vocal, jazz vocal, country vocal, rock vocal, and so on. The microphones themselves also have a lot of nuances in them. So we want to arm you with as much information as we can, and what we did is we chose five-star reviewed microphones, and we picked 4 vocalists to sing through those microphones. Then I sat down with Shawn Dealey, who is the head engineer here at Sweetwater Studios, and we talked through the process we went through when recording the vocals that you're going to hear. Shawn is a fantastic engineer, and he really knows what he's doing, and he takes us through his process of choosing a microphone for a particular vocalist. And hopefully it will help you in your journey of finding the right microphone for your particular situation. So like I mentioned, we picked 5-star reviewed microphones that all vary in price. And what you're going to see and hear are the Telefunken TF29, the Soyuz 017 FET, F-E-T, the Lauten Atlantis, the Warm W87, and the SE X1A. You're also going to hear 4 distinct vocalists sing through these 5 microphones. I came up with a little piece of music just for making videos like this. It's a short little thing, it doesn't take very long, and you're really going to hear a big difference between the vocal styles and how they react in the microphones. You're going to hear me sing through the microphones. I'm one of the vocalists. Then we have a great singer-songwriter here at Sweetwater named Olivia Kramer. She has a beautiful, soft female voice, really great singer. Then we're going to go rock. His name is Tyler Grooms. He works here in the marketing department with me here at Sweetwater, and he's got a gritty, hard rock voice. It sounds really great through the microphones. And then a totally different texture from him. His name's Jordan Applegate, and he's got a sort of a smooth R&B styled voice. He's a great singer as well. So 4 totally different textures through these 5 different microphones. The piece of music you're going to hear everybody sing is really short, so it doesn't take much time to go through all of us singing through all of the microphones, and I hope you stick around to hear everybody, because you'll really start to hear the difference in not just the tone of voice, but how each microphone reacts to each person as they switch from mic to mic to mic. Okay, it's time now to go to the studio and check out these microphones. Let's do it. Shawn.
Hi.
Hey, man. Thanks so much for hanging out and doing this, helping us with this video.
Yeah.
Setting up the mics and engineering for us. So we're comparing 5 different mics with 4 different vocalists, trying to help people in their search for a microphone, whether it's in studio or live, that kind of thing. Well, some things to look for. And it's really cool to hear the same music and the same sort of melody with the 4 different voices on these microphones. The differences are small, but, you know, if you're going to talk to somebody about getting a mic, what kind of advice would you give them first off?
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty loaded question. We have a lot of microphones to choose from these days and a lot of different price points. So, you know, the mics we looked at today, we range in price from, I think the SE microphone's on sale for $89,
right,
up to $2,400. So, big price point difference. But, you know, the comments we were getting from the vocalists, sometimes they were making a comment where they felt their voice sounded the best in the headphones. So,
right,
you know, when I'm here listening for, you know, specific things, one of the most important factors is having someone who's performing being really comfortable, especially with their own voice. I know that that's a tricky thing for people that sing, is the, you know, comfort level of hearing themselves and being able to, you know, wear headphones and perform effectively. So, you know, while we're listening for the best possible sound in the recording, what the vocalist is hearing and how they're performing, I think, is a really large component to making a decision on choosing a microphone. So,
right,
you know, people are looking at microphones for home recording, you know, picking one that they feel comfortable or they feel their voice sounds the best with is a big part of that. So,
yeah, because they got to be able to perform and not worry about the mics. They want to be enjoying what they're hearing and kind of let the music take its course rather than worrying about the gear at that particular moment.
Right. And that, you know, it depends on so many factors. I mean, everyone's voice sounds different. I hate hearing the sound of my own voice. So, you know, like if I was singing, I'm not a singer, but, you know, finding something that didn't accentuate the frequencies that stood out, hearing something that when I sing, pitch references is easy to do. The microphones that we have today, no one really had a really strong sibilant sound, but sometimes you'll end up with a microphone that's a lot brighter, and it comes out on people's voices depending on how their S's and, they finish words. So that is a really, strategic thing to kind of choose, or when you're listening for this sort of stuff is like, okay, are my S's too loud? Are the plosives really, bugging me or happening quite often? We use pop filters today on all of the microphones, so that sort of saved us from having those, but there was nothing that had an excessive rumble. We recorded it really clean through our Grace preamp here, so there's no processing going on. So we're getting the purest possible signal from the mics that we checked out today.
Cool. Now, I'll speak for me. When I sang through the mics through the headphones, the Soyuz microphone sounded great in the headphones. It had more air and brightness to it. But then when I came back here in the studio and listened back, it's not that much brighter than the other mics necessarily. It has a little bit more of a touch. So you're right in when you're saying it's a little bit of a different sound out there than it is here for sure, because we're listening through ATCs and these great Ocean Way speakers in here and some cans, the headphones definitely have a different vibe.
Yeah, and that'll isolate things a little bit more, and sometimes it's good to get, we're listening at a mid distance here, near fields, headphones to kind of feel that if there's any real big discrepancies between the vocal mics. But it's surprising that 5 mics, 5 different singers, I would use any of the takes that we got today for a song. So
can we hear a couple of things while we're sitting here together?
Yeah. We can start with, the Soyuz mic that you liked was the most expensive microphone in the bunch, but here is a pass with the Soyuz.
Reach down, hold the sound, feel light, super tight.
It's very clean sounding.
Smile once, and then again. Sweeter things are in the air, happiness is everywhere. Sweetwater flowing through the notes.
And for me, that mic, one thing I noticed about that mic is when I sing up in my higher register, it gets really loud, and it took the volume quite well. I wasn't really backing off the mic that much when I started piling into it.
You'll get that, and a lot of these condenser microphones will have a pad, so if you're singing or, heavier music, if you're yelling and things like that, padding them will help. Most of these mics have pads and high-pass filters and available sort of, adjustments to make, but all of the mics that we did today are all at 0, so there's no pads involved with this. So kind of giving a comparison of what this would be for, a regular tracking situation with none of the options on. So that held up really great. To go from that and then listen to the, $99, $89 SE microphone in the same context. And so I've level matched these RMS and Pro Tools too, so we're comparing them at the same level and just so we have a fair comparison.
Sure.
Reach down, hold the sound, feel light, super tight, smile once, and then again.
Yeah, man. It's clean as well, right?
Are in the air. Happiness is everywhere. Sweetwater flowing through the notes.
And that's pretty clean sounding too. Why don't we hear a couple of these mics with some of the other singers we got?
Yeah.
Because we got 4 totally different voices here.
Right. So Olivia, a lot softer. And they performed a little differently, but we weren't pushing as much level into them, so it's more a lower level detail thing. So this is the Telefunken TF29 with Olivia.
Reach down, hold the sound, feel light, super tight, smile once, and then again. Sweeter things are in the air, happiness is everywhere. Sweetwater flowing through the notes.
It's nice, a little airier,
Sounds air, yeah.
And then taking a look at the Lauten Atlantis on her voice.
Reach down, hold the sound, feel light, super tight, smile once, and then again. happiness is everywhere. Oh, sweet water flowing through the notes.
Now, to my ear, it was just a little bit darker
Yeah.
sounding. It had a little more sort of roundness to the sound for her.
I kind of like that because with her, quieter delivery, there's a little bit more S and things like that. So the darker mic, I think, suits her voice a little bit better in this situation. So,
Cool. All right. Now let's go to a completely different sound.
Yep.
Tyler, who's got a really sort of nice rock voice.
Yep.
He can scream, and it's got a lot of grit in his voice.
So this is the 017 FET by Soyuz on Tyler.
Reach down, hold the sound, feel like super tight. Smile once and then again. Sweeter things are in the air, happiness is everywhere. Sweet water flowing through the nose.
Yeah, so you're gonna need to find a mic that can handle that kind of scream and that kind of power and still be clear and be able to sit in the mix and all those kinds of things.
Yeah, and that sounded great on Tyler's voice, full-bodied, bright, and without being too harsh, and really kind of showcase his voice really nicely. We'll listen to the warm W87 on Tyler as well here.
Reach down, hold the sound, feel like super tight. Smile once and then again. Sweeter things are in the air, happiness is everywhere. Oh, sweet water flowing through the notes.
He's got a little Joe Cocker, a little Chris Cornell, a little, there's a few different vibes I hear in his voice. And to me, the warm had a touch more air to it.
It kind of felt a little more finished to his voice. It kind of had some of the stuff that I might have to add to the FET to get it to be where I want it to be with the way he sings. So, that's a pairing that I think works a little bit better. But, we're like splitting hairs here.
Totally,
like,
these are
pretty
small,
close and
small differences.
Everything has sounded pretty good. So, Jordan here has got a few passes, and he came away, commenting that he felt like the Lauten and the SE were both really great in the headphones. So let's check those out with Jordan singing, who's a little more soulful R&B kind of voice.
Reach down, hold the sound, feel light, super tight. Smile once and then again. Sweeter things are in the air, happiness is everywhere. Oh, sweet water's flowing through the notes.
Very pleasant sounding.
Yep.
It's not bright. It's got a roundness to that tone.
Yeah, and like I had mentioned earlier, like the comfort level in the headphones is a big piece of the puzzle, right? So if someone is singing and they're feeling really good, maybe we might have to choose the one that suits the way that they can sing the best too, but also understanding that some mics inherently darker or inherently brighter, dealing with the sound of your voice or the way you deliver is also going to be a big factor in that.
Sure.
So and then the SE on Jordan's voice.
Reach down, hold the sound, feel light, super tight. Smile once and then again. Sweeter things are in the air, happiness is everywhere. Oh, sweet water's flowing through the notes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a small difference.
Yep. But, those are the kind of things that, if you're buying a microphone for multiple uses or multiple voices, at a lower price point, you could have a couple different microphones. If you find a mic that really suits your voice, it's more expensive, and you're going to be recording your own voice or a specific singer, if it's a band situation or something like that, investing in a microphone that works well for a certain person. But, when we're looking at, a $99, $89 microphone, the Warm 87 being $599, having a couple different options in a microphone locker is always really great. Of
course.
I always like to do, if we're doing lead vocals and backup vocals, using different microphones just for a little bit of tonality difference. But I think it's a pretty interesting thing to see all of these singers on all of these different microphones. Each one has its own flavor, but none of them are bad, and all of them sound quite good.
Yeah.
So.
Well, cool, man. Thank you so much for taking the time today and helping us out with this.
No, I appreciate it. Thanks for coming by.
All right, man. Well, there you go. What'd you think? Could you hear the differences? The little nuances in each microphone as the singer sang through them? It's quite a thing, isn't it? And this was not a shootout of these microphones, more of just a comparison so you could hear how each microphone reacted to the different singers singing through them. Again, just to give you that knowledge, so when you're in the market for a new microphone, you can go in with confidence knowing that you're going to get the right microphone for your particular situation. If you want any more information about these 5 microphones, click on the links in the description below. Leave us a comment about which microphone you like best. Like the video, subscribe to our channel, head on over to sweetwater.com, and just thank you for taking the time to watch this video, everybody. We'll see you again next time. Cheers.